tell you, we were really happy. I was really nervous coming into this match. You know, obviously it's a pretty big rivalry. They're right down the street. You know, they don't like us too much, so it's important for us to come out. And also, you know, beginning of the season last year, we lost to Mars Knowles, our first match of the year. So we wanted to prove that that wasn't going to happen again and come out and really do the things that we needed to do. If you want to talk about individuals, obviously at 106, Val Mealy and Ty Gacy are both studs. Ty went up a weight and handled a pretty tough wrestler. Probably the bout of the night was Nicky Farrow. He went out and beat a state qualifier, and he actually bumped up a weight. He's a regular 13-pounder. So he went up a weight and beat a state qualifier pretty handily. You know, and then then we have those hammers in our lineup. I think Nikki Anderson going up a weight class and beating Friedman was a nice win. We knew Friedman was really tough. Travis Vasquez, you know, from 106, now seeing him at 145 is great. Joe Taboso at 52, I think was a little oversized, but he wrestled very tough and lost a close one at the end. Andrew Vittorio, I mean, that was probably the bout of the night, beating a very solid Tim Byrne from Mendham, who just took second in the tournament last week. And then the upper weights are coming along, you know. I think Aaron Slotowitz still needs to adjust from football, but J.J. Grogan and Austin Gobo both wrestled really hard. You know, Austin coming out on the winning side, and J.J., you know, bumping from 220 to heavyweight. It's hard to handle that weight. So we're happy, and we're not satisfied. We're happy, and we're excited for the season. But, you know, to see Andrew Vittorio really go out there and, as a senior, do what he had to do. I mean, we knew those smaller guys were going to be great. I think Nicky Farrow really showed me something today. You know, and if those guys can get wins against good guys, I mean, we're going to be tough to beat down the stretch. You know, there's a lot of good competition. Our schedule is not light for sure. I mean, South Plainfield next week and Phillipsburg the next week, and Southern Regional and St. Peter's Prep and Jackson Memorial. I mean, we got all the hammers on our schedule. So, you know, we're going to take it one day at a time and just hope to get better and hope we can compete with the best, you know.
I mean, to start out, Del Barton's the #1 team in the area, probably the entire county, again. And I was proud of how hard our guys fought. You know, you got to look from 106 to, 145 is basically studs. We're looking at 6, 7, 8 weight classes in a row, so it's tough. I thought we came out nice. We had an injury to Conti that they didn't know about, and I was preaching to the guys how important it is, whether you're injured or not, to weigh in, because that's part of match strategy. And Jimmy did. They thought they were going to have to use him. They thought we were going to have to use him at some point, and I didn't. And kind of worked out to our advantage, because where they had a gap and we got the coin toss, which helps, they had the 450 opening match, and I threw out a JV kid who was able to pick up the 6 points for us and then bump and move the other guys. So, you know, match strategy-wise, I thought we had what we could do to get the points that we got. But, you know, I'm more than happy with the performance of the kids. But I give a lot of credit to Del Barton, because they're an excellent team. Yeah, he strained his AC joint in his shoulder with the last 4 seconds in the finals at the Mount Olive tournament. And it's not major, but it's going to keep him out probably about 2 weeks. But we're within that 2-week process. So hopefully we get him back for Kittatinny, but that's next week. Chances are he's not going to come back till that following Saturday, so which is good, because we have a lot of depth this year. You know, we have 45 kids on the team, and I think that's going to help us out in the long run against other public schools. You know, Del Barton, it was a great quote from the head football coach at Don Bosco, is, "I don't need to recruit because they know what Don Bosco football's about." And it's kind of the same thing in Del Barton. They know what Del Barton wrestling is about. They don't have to recruit. They're not that kind of team. But they do have a draw of kids that want to go there and wrestle for Coach Stoll and wrestle for Coach Russo, and rightfully so. But as far as our program, the youth program, you know, again, has really picked it up. I've been trying to work with them. They become, you know, we've bonded our high school program and the youth program now a lot better. We're sharing funds. We're working on the wrestling room. We're making a lot of improvements. And hopefully that keeps the draw in our community for the kids to keep coming back and wanting to wrestle within our program. And as the feeder program progresses and we get more and more kids and the talent progresses with those kids, it's definitely going to help out the high school team.